with the Creator's Attic. I just wanted to quickly show you an updated ephemera kit that I have. I have these in my Etsy store, which is always linked at the in my video description as of late. I want to quickly go through this so I don't take up too much of your time, but you get to see what such a well-rounded kit this really is and how much it contains. And the price for this anywhere else would not be under $40. So, you know, there are a lot of ephemera kits out there that maybe don't have all antique and vintage, but the latest thing in this kit, I believe, it goes from the 1850s all the way up to maybe the late 60s, maybe early 70s. So this is a real deal. So I just wanted to run through some of the newest things I've since the last time I made an ephemera video. I have really come and collected a lot more. So we'll just start here and I'll quickly go through these items. Okay, this is an official Ringling Brothers stationery heading, and it's watermarked, so you know that it's real. Here you have your old ledger from 1932. So you had a ledger page, and this is just another page I tore out of a book from the 40s. This is from an autograph book, and if you see, the date is 1881, I believe, and it's just a lovely thing to obviously a girl who is going out on her own, and a lot of her friends and family have lots of nice things to say. I have these botanical cards in there with the information on the back. I also am going to show you quickly what you also get: piano paper. And I'll usually throw in a piece of antique trim or very, very old trim. These book pages, the variety, my customer ordered a 125 item kit, and that's what you're seeing here. But this is the variety that makes these so special. She is receiving a very old piece of music. This is from I think maybe a Vogue or not Vogue. It may be a Vogue sewing magazine. This is from the 60s. Going through these kind of quickly. There's a beautiful page with butterflies. And notice that these are larger, so they can be folded easier and put into books if you want to use them in your junk journals. This is from Poland, and it's in Polish. A lot of my ephemera kits, a lot of my pages I send in here are a little bit bigger, but I'm showing you the variety. This is from a 1938 Sears catalog. I'd like to include some of these. Check out these old curtains and how this is from a Sears Roebuck catalog. And these kits do vary a little bit, but pretty much what they contain stays the same way. Botanical, I'm just going to quickly go through these pages. Because I want to show you the smaller ephemera. This is a garden guide on growing flowers. This is from a Swedish book. This is a Russian to Spanish dictionary. This is from a very old cookbook page. This is a 1926 page from a high school annual. I have a Thai vintage recipe card in here. I have a page in Hebrew for my buyer in here. I have a dictionary page that's Spanish to English. I have a gorgeous, look at the colors on this French book. And look at this gorgeous German Gothic writing you get, and these are very old. And this is a piece of music from a children's book that is in German as well. Here is a page from a vintage Chinese book. You see I include the wallpaper as well. And then some of the other ephemera that's just really cool in here includes things like papers, like old bills and stuff. It's so neat to see what people bought back then. Look, a horseshoe from 1939. Here's another pharmacy invoice for $44. And I'm just going to keep going through these and just kind of showing you some of the real ephemera that comes in these. And so we're not here all day, but here's a time card from this 1966. Here's some of that very old, those very, very old scorecard sheets, like back when people actually played Yahtzee and in Uno. Now the computer is taking over mostly. I have these German picture vocabulary cards. It's just an old Uno card. Here's some algebra cards. Here's an old circus ticket. This is from an old maid game, I believe. This is a American Express money order receipt from 1966. These are really neat because these are from the 40s, and this is a variety show. It's a dance club invitation card. Here I have something from a railroad ticket, and it's the dates on the back. Another algebra card. Okay, and moving here to this, I have an old letter, and I have to just pull this letter out because the contents are just precious. As you can see, somebody harvested the stamp, but if you can look, that is so old that they did not even have to they put the person's name and their city and state. That was it. Really no address needed. And this one is to a wife from his, a man to his wife. Okay, here is some, I had put lots of vintage stamps. Here is one from the Republic of South Africa. I can include these old wildflower cigarette teen cards. This is somebody's report card, Ralph Lewis. Let's see. And this was from 1945 to 1946, and it looks like he did pretty well. He got only 2 B pluses. They're all A's. So this is just a report card. And here's the piano roll paper you receive. And then these are the little treasures. Here's a druggist company from 1930. I have some old checks from 1935, some vintage Port of San Francisco paper from a paper pad from back in the day. And here is a May 1968 Macy's of California receipt. I have those receipts that you used to give when they brought you the ice for your ice box. This is what this is. I also have a Olds Market, an old grocery ticket where you could enter to win $500 in groceries, and you can see 1931 on there. That's really awesome. That's almost 100 years ago. 1973. This was the second year that Pennsylvania had their lottery out, so this is pretty old. This is a little bit weathered, but I wanted to include it. It's from 1958, but it also has that this person was sending money from New York to Sweden, so I thought that was neat. Here's some foreign vintage money. I'm not quite sure where that's from. I can't read that writing, but it's not, they aren't, letters that I can recognize. Here's an 1892 school record. It's just an old label for a thing of tea. And also, I include some gorgeous playing cards, old vintage playing cards, and there's always an assortment. This is a card from a teacher might have used for pre-primer children. Here's a bird information card from 1962. Tells all about the brown-headed cowbird. And these are old flashcards and things that, and you can tell by the pictures that they're pretty old. But a lot of people like to use these flashcards and all in their junk journals, so they include those as well. Here is a J&P Coates calling card original. It's the Clark's spool of cotton thread. Here is an old matchbook. Here is a vintage, very vintage, no gum in it, of course, but a double hubble wrapping. These go great in just, just putting them, just adding to your papers and things like that you have. This is I think, Czechoslovakian 1911 car, little stamp. I guess that's a collector's. I have a cigar band. I have these, just some old labels. This one is actually located right around the corner from me in Cairo, Georgia. But you can see I included some labels in there, and these are two very old seed packets. And really quickly, I'm about to wrap it up here. I have some vocabulary cards, and they are done in, I think these are French, Italian, Japanese or Chinese, and some others. So those are some nice vocabulary cards in here that I include. These are real advertisements from magazines. You have these old, beautiful black and white photos. Let's see the way the lady's dressed here. It has their name. This is Amy and Edna. This is Tower Hall. I think it's probably from where someone was going to college. That's a picture. Here's an old, beautiful wedding photo. Here is a paper doll, a vintage paper doll outfit. I have those old phone call message receipts with the yellow on the back. Some bridge papers, bingo card, a time card, Dr. Pepper Bottling Company receipt from 1963. Here are some apothecary labels that I have. Some old apothecary labels. They have not been licked. Some old buttons. Here is a Greek and I think it's a Turkish and a Polish English translation, old travel handbook pages. I have another triple Yahtzee there. I have these older stamps from the Afghan Post. Actually, this one's 99. I'll have to go back and change that. I want a little bit older one. 1943 U.S. postage. I have these little recipe cards in here that have the recipes on the back, and they're two different types. Now, not all of these will have these exact things in them, but there is a list in my Etsy store description under this kit if you want to see all of the items that could possibly come in and so much more. This is a 1914 check, another 1918 check, a Texas company, like a Texaco old receipt from the 39, and here's another one from 38 for the refining company. Of course, you have to have your milk toppers in here, and your old, almost 100-year-old prepaid state sales tax. If you look that up, it's very interesting. I would explain it, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. Here are some old stamps that you get from the grocery and such to win things. Here's some old Carnival Passes. Here's another type of an old age tax from token from Oklahoma. This one is a tax token, an old one from Missouri. And there's foreign vintage coins. I believe this one is my eyesight is not that great. Sierra Leone from 1964. These are always cute to glue or tuck inside something in your journal. These are more grocery store items. I have an very old greeting card, and I have prescriptions with that. Look at the old writing, how they had to use the inkwell on this one. I think this one is from the 1800s, and these two are from the early 1940s. Here are some old postcards. These are very old. These are from around the early 1900s. This one may be a little bit newer, but it's not new. Obviously, you can tell by the cards. It's probably from the 40s or 50-ish, 50s. And I guess that's pretty much what I have in my kits that I can show you. There's a lot more things that I like to add, but this is generally what you would see in a kit. So check those out if you're interested. They're in my Etsy store under Ephemera Antique and Vintage Ephemera Samplers. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.